Hey guys, today, or I should say the continuation of, I guess we're back to Project Nissan here. Just yesterday I wanted to take a quick trip to a hardware store so I could get a part for a sink, and well, she started bucking and spitting and missing and carrying on, and I'm like, well, better turn around. I'm closer to home than I was to my destination, so limped it back home. And yeah, anywho, I had a couple of things to do earlier today, and now I'm getting on to this, and I thought, well, maybe some of you guys might care to get invested in this a little bit. Maybe I can learn you something, maybe not, but whatever. I like making videos, so I'm gonna make one. All that I've done so far, I just got down to the spark plugs because from my experience, feels like well, just feels like ignition to me. When you have a fuel misfire, like say an injector shuts off, that's a soft one. It doesn't make the car buck and carry on normally. You just literally drop a cylinder. You know, those of us that are a little more sensitive, we notice, but most people, honestly, they don't even know. They'll run around on 3 cylinders, 5 cylinders out of, 3 out of 4, 5 out of 6, and 7 out of 8. You know what I mean? They'll just drive around like that and not know until a check engine light comes on. By the way, I do not have a check engine light, nor do I have any pending codes. That was the first thing that I checked. But this feels like a hard miss. And from my experience, that is typically going to be ignition related. So the first thing I did, and the only thing that I have done thus far, I got down to the, you got to pull this cover off here. And got down to the spark plugs there, and yeah, because my wife is working until about 7 p.m. tonight, and it is midday for me, I got to do this pretty much myself. How do you turn an engine over when you're working all alone? Well, we got tools for that, or jumpers for that, I should say. So what I need to do, I need to verify that the coils are working, I need to verify that the spark plugs are firing, and that's where I'm going to begin so far throughout this diagnostic procedure. I do have a tool for that. It's just a remote trigger that you can hook up to the starter solenoid. If you can follow this green wire down, you can see down in there. If I take that green wire and I attach it to the positive side of this battery, I will ultimately end up engaging the starter solenoid, which will engage the starter, and it goes something like that. So if I ain't got nobody here to crank the key for me or turn the key for me, I got to do it my damn self. I'm going to use this. I'm going to hook this up, but it took me a minute to remember where I put that thing. You know how it is. You don't use something for 10 years and you know you got it, you just don't know where you got it. So anywho, I'm going to set up here. We're going to verify a couple of things, test and prove a couple of things, and hopefully this is a simple problem. Hopefully it's just a spark plug or a coil pack. That's honestly what I'm expecting, but well, I don't know. We're going to get into it. So I'm going to set you up, and hey, let's go for a ride. Okay, we are pretty much ready to do this thing. What I needed, had to get I need a ground wire here. Valve cover's all plastic. To test the sparkage here, we're just literally gonna insert a spark plug until it looks like so, all the way in there. I'll reconnect it, and then I gotta ground it, because believe you me, you do not want to get hit by one of these. Electrically speaking, it hurts. You're definitely gonna feel it. It ain't gonna kill you, but it'll hurt pretty goodly. Something like that. Something like that. Turn it so hopefully we can all see. Something like that. I need to go turn the ignition key on to the on position, and yeah, let me do that real quick. Yeah, see, the coils won't fire without the PCM engaged. So, yeah, if all goes to plan, all I have to do is squeeze the trigger, like so. And here, let me take you off the tripod here. Let's see if we can both see this a little closer. Try to anyway. And focus, motherfucker. Right there. Let's see what we see. See the spark? You should be able to have seen that. That was sparking pretty good. So no problemo with that one. And let's rinse and repeat. I'm not going to swap spark plugs. I'm going to keep, you know, each coil and spark plug individual to its cylinder that it originally came from. That way we can test a couple of things in one shot. A spark plug, B, a coil, or vice versa. So, yeah, going to be like that. I do have a suspect cylinder with a suspect coil. One doesn't quite look like the rest of them. So, it's entirely possible that that's going to be the issue, but well, that's why we test and prove. God damn you, motherfucker. Stay. That is why we test and prove these things. And do a rinse and repeat of this one. Something like, yo. I wish there was a quicker way of attaching and detaching this tripod here, but yeah, bear with me. We'll get there. Focus, Penny. Focus. Focus. All right, ready? Engage. Yeah. I hear something over here, though. Yeah. This coil, like I said, I do have a suspect. Let me move some shit out of the way. We'll take a look at that. I heard a ticking. Yeah, now I don't. All right, that's what it was. Too much or too close to something. It was arcing. So that's telling me that coil is firing. So we'll keep moving down the line here. Now, another thing with ignition systems, and I mean, spark plug is part of the system. So, you know, it could be spark plug, could be a coil, could be, you know, bad power or ground. But that's all this traffic is doing. Christ's sake. One thing with the ignition systems is sometimes they have to be loaded before you start to get any kind of an action or reaction, I should say. By loading, I mean they got to be under cylinder pressure, under real life conditions. In other words, the engine's got to be running, and you can do what's called a power brake. You put your foot on the brake and you apply the accelerator. The car doesn't move. You're in gear. You're applying an engine load to the entire system. Everything gets tested, in one shot. Fuel system, ignition system, everything, and also engine mounts. So you don't want to go flat to the floor, but you want to give it a load. Sometimes, if it's going to miss, it will only miss under an engine load like that. I'm hoping this shows up without having to do that, because then I do need a second person. There's no way I can do that on my own. But one thing at a time, right? Yep, one day at a time, one thing at a time. Try this again. And it'll focus, or do I gotta tell you? No, you did it all by yourself. Good boy. Alrighty, here we go. Alright, that was working pretty well. I do believe. Alright, now this one kind of separated when I pulled the coil out of the hole here. This one's separated. It's not a big deal. It happens. It doesn't mean anything. It's just these didn't separate. I guess the glue's still holding a little better on that one. And two, it was wet. Like, boy, you know, I was hard pressed to determine was it water or was it oil, because the valve cover's all wet up in here because, well, my wife adds oil to it when she remembers, or when I tell her to check her oil. It's usually a little low, and she spills some here and there, and you know, with that big goofy ass cover that covers this whole thing, you know, you get oil down in here, what are you gonna do? Nothing really. So, you know, over the years of doing that, and I think you can see how wet the coil pack is there. Well, let me get you a little closer, and then for sure you can see. Yeah, I wish there was a quicker way of detaching this. See how shiny that is? Yeah, I mean, it's because there's something on it, and I'm guessing it's oil. Feels like oil. So yeah, it got slippery, and well, you know, slippery things slide, right? All right, so I'm going to put A and B together here real quick, and get on to testing that last one. I hope it doesn't spark, because that'll make me happy. Oh, but it probably will. It's probably going to be, you know, one of those. Did that go in? Oh, this is a resistor, believe it or not. I don't know. You'd never use something like this in the racing industry, but you know, it's done in the automotive, you know, general daily driver automotive shit, for noise suppression. So sometimes there's resistance built into a spark plug. Sometimes it's built right into the coil. So things to note. Anyway, make sure that is in that. There's a little pin in there. I guess you can. Well, trust me. There's a little pinpoint in there. Just make sure that's seated before you reassemble, and boom, presto, kitchen magic. Part A and part B, like so. Disconnect. Oh man. Oh, you know what? Shit. I did that backwards. I need to test this one. Shit. Yeah, you bastard. All right. It probably won't make no difference whatsoever, but I got to test each circuit. Yeah, I was using the cylinder number 3 to fire cylinder number 2. Shit. Yeah, and it's good. Just, you know, as expected. I just realized that though. I done fucked up right there. All right. Let's check number 1 here. Come on. All right, let's see what we see here now. Damn it. And is you gonna focus? Yes, you will. Good boy, good boy. I like this camera, I really do. Panasonic G9. So it's going to be one of those. Yeah. All right. Well, there is not a lot I can do now without the help of a second person now. Shit. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, that's my life. Why did I expect it to be easy? Well, all right. Yeah, not much I can say or do here. While everything's out, you should do your inspection. You know, check out your focus over here. Focus, you motherfucker. Check out your spark plugs. Look for, any signs of, obvious things, breakage. If anything is broken, obviously that's a big problem. Are you focusing? Am I too close? I might have been too close. I was probably too close. All right. Look for signs of piston. Seriously, I'm not joking. If you see any, things that look like aluminum flake, like coarse ground pepper, only this is going to be silver shit. To super fine table salt, again, it's going to be silver. It's signs of detonation, pre-ignition, and what that is, it's actually aluminum. It's actually metal, and it's bits and pieces of your piston. It's a common thing. Don't get all upset if you see it. Just know that you might want to run a little higher octane, or maybe a fuel additive of sorts. I know one of these had some piston on it. I think it was this one. Let's see if we can. How close can we get? I cannot tell on this fucking baby screen. Is it focused? No, it's looking somewhere else. Look down there, you bitch. Yeah. Whatever. I hope you can see it. Oh, now it grabbed it right there. That's what I wanted you to look at. All right, yeah. There's a. I mean, I can't see it on this screen, but hopefully you can see it. There is a little bit of piston stuck to that one. But all right. Not a lot I can do here by myself yet, so I'm gonna reassemble. Again, I've said this a million times in so many videos. All of my videos, I try to remember to say it. Never seize these threads. Always just do it. Just do it. Because steel into aluminum eats the fuck out of the aluminum. And, a little never seize goes a long, long way. And again, dielectric grease in your spark plug boots, and you're ready to rock and roll. That little teeny bit of attention to detail, I mean, it saves you a lot of headache and heartache down the road, especially when you get up in miles like this. So, yeah, just do it. Always just do it. All right, we'll tune back in later when there's more to show. Real quick, I just thought I'd give a quick little show and tell here. Yes, real quick. And mention something that I forgot to mention. Anywho, that is a never seized spark plug. You better be focusing. I cannot see this goddamn screen. It's so bright out here, and well, I'm half blind, and it's small. But anyway, little never seize. Just lightly coat it like that, and you're gonna be good forever. And then your schmoo, dielectric grease. This stuff, and a tube of this will probably last you a lifetime if you're just a shade tree mechanic. You're just doing this for yourself and a handful of friends once in a while. Tube of this will go a long time. But yeah, man, you schmoo it up. It isolates electrically, but it also prevents the boot from sticking to the porcelain. Believe me, when that happens on shit with wires and tight spaces, it's a fucking nightmare. Just do this. Just trust me. Do it. You'll thank me for it later. 100,000 miles down the road, when you got to do this shit again, you will thank me then. But the thing I forgot to mention, real quick, on these overhead, valve covers, where the cover is, there's an O-ring that literally seals right around where the spark plug hole is. Always take a flashlight and look down inside of those, because sometimes these seals start to leak oil down inside, and that can also cause a misfire. But you'll know it. You'll know you got a leak when you pull the coil pack out, because it'll be coated in oil. I mean, the whole thing will be soaked. But just for preventative maintenance, you can see a problem before you really have a problem. Just take a flashlight and look down in there, and get a good idea of the condition of things. I already did the valve cover gasket on this a few years ago, so we're in good shape. And I did exactly as I suggest. I already did that. I'm in good shape here, so that's not my problem. But for you guys, just thought I'd mention it real quick. All right, moving along. Alrighty, got her back together. Yeah, I cleaned and gapped the spark plugs. No need to show you that. I'm sure everybody knows. I just use a brass, not a metal, but a brass wire brush. get some of the particulate off of the electrode and the ground tang and whatnot on the plug, and yeah, blow it out with some air, and there you go. Regapped them. Spec on this is 44, so they're back in within spec. They weren't bad. It was like 49, something like that. Anywho, took a few thou out of the gap there, and yeah, all back together. I'm going to go in and light this up, see what it does. When it was acting up yesterday, I completely lost a cylinder. So when I parked it here, it was only running on 3. Let's see if that problem is duplicated. So I'm going to set the microphone down and go light this guy up. I'm pretty sure you heard it. It stumbled. It definitely didn't run on all 4 right away, but now it is. It's running on all 4. Another thing you can do, sometimes coils will start to leak on the outside. Now doing this, you're gonna get your ass zapped, but you know, a little touchy-feely. If you get poked, you'll know which coil is doing it. Believe me. Nothing. Yeah. Huh. Alright, I'm gonna let this run a little bit, get some heat into it. Because again, ignition, sometimes they only act up when they get good and hot. Now this thing wasn't hot when it started acting up yesterday. It was nowhere near operating temperature. But well, I'll just give this good 10 or 15 minutes and we'll tune back in then. And we're back at this now. It has been, oh, I don't know, quite a few minutes. Anyway, coolant temp is reading normal, and what I'm going to do here real quick, I'm going to do what's called a snap throttle test, where you just go flat to the floor for just a quick burst, you know, just literally to rev the engine, see if it stumbles or carries on, or you know, see how it responds. So I'm going to drape the microphone over this little area here so you can hear while I go do that. No problem with that. Alright, next I'm going to try the power brake, where I engage to drive and yeah, step on the brake and the throttle at the same time, put the engine under load, see if it breaks up then. I am going to have to scoot the tripod just in case the car drifts, because I am right up against the car and I do not want to run this stuff over. Can't see shit. It is so bright out here, it's not funny. Yeah, I think you can still see. I think that's alright. And just in case the brakes don't hold, I won't run you over. Alright, we're gonna try this again. And you saw and heard what I saw and heard. Well, you saw, I just heard. Can't see shit from the engine seat, but there was no misfire. So one more thing I can do yet is take her for a road test, because that's when it acted up for me. So let's see if we can duplicate yesterday. I'm even going to go the same route, take you along for a ride, and see what we see. And we're rolling. I don't have no check engine lights. Of course I didn't yesterday either, and I mean it literally straight up lost a cylinder. I was only running on 3 for sure. So let's see how this new firmware update does. I can hardly see the screen anyway. I'm watching the road. I'm just glancing down every once in a while. Yeah, I just updated the G9 here, Panasonic G9, to the latest firmware. So shifting from light to dark, and yeah, looking at the console, back to the road. Is she focusing? God, I hope so. I like this camera. I really like this camera, but I can't see. I mean, it doesn't matter who makes what. If the screen ain't like, you know, a fucking tablet, fucking forget about it. Cell phones are goddamn useless to me. I can't see the goddamn, well, I can see the buttons and whatnot. Like if I got to dial a number, I can see that, you know, pretty easy. But you guys, I guess you watch all this shit on your fucking cell phone? Good God, how? I mean, just how? It's so tiny, you can't see a fucking thing. So, I mean, hey, good for you if you got the eyesight that, you know, you can do it. But I damn sure don't. So, it's going to straighten out coming up. I'm going to give her the beans. Because pulling a hill, I mean, that's, you know, there ain't no greater load. Well, when the torque converter locks up, that's ultimate load right there. But, yeah, so far so good. I mean, I got my Nissan back. But look, I'm telling you, I mean, that what happened yesterday, that was not a glitch. There is something breaking down. And it's, you know, when you got this intermittent shit, you know, what do? You can't fix it if it ain't broke. But trying to get the thing to break. Because, you know, hey, once it's broken, it's pretty easy to pinpoint exactly what the problem is. So, yeah. Yeah, and I guess you guys that have seen my videos on this, there's my fuel gauge and my trip meter. I think you can see that. Hopefully Panasonic's focusing down there on the trip meter. I just fill the tank every 300 miles, and I just say fuck it. Every 300 miles, fill the tank. I don't worry about the fuel gauge no more. It's set permanently. It never moves. So slow down here a little. And let's give her the beans. Didn't miss a beat. Not one single beat. Well, shit. And if it ain't broke, I can't fix it. I don't know what the hell to do with this video. I didn't do a damn thing. Or I didn't fix a damn thing. Although, the car's running fine now, so... Is it a connection? No, it's never a fucking connection. Hey, slow down, Michael, slow down. Yeah, I don't need to run this road out. I know where it goes. Go. Reverse. And, well, shit. Alright, I'm going to leave this record just in case it decides to act up on the way home. I doubt that it will. But, yeah, shit. So there's that. Yeah, when I first started it up, you know, right after I reinstalled the plugs, put it all back together, you heard that stumble. That's the kind of misfire that I was talking about, but that wasn't an ignition misfire. That was a fuel misfire. The reason why it was acting that way is because the whole time I was cranking on it with the coils disconnected and the spark plugs out, I never disconnected or disabled the injectors. So every time I was, you know, spinning the engine over, those injectors was still firing. I don't know if you saw in the video, there was little mists, little puffs coming out of each cylinder. That wasn't water vapor, that was fuel. So, you know, the cylinders were just getting a little loaded with, you know, gasoline. So once you finally put fire to it, a spark, in other words, yeah, you know, it's going to be a couple of radical booms until it, you know, levels off and burns up and smooths out. So that's all that was, but that was a good demonstration of what this thing was doing, sounding like, acting like, rather than missing one cylinder. That was a demonstration of missing on all cylinders, because they were all fucked at that point. But yeah, well, shit. Maybe I'll just sit on this video for a little while. Maybe the car will break down later, because right now, I mean, hey, it's my trusty Nissan again, you know. This is acting like my car, so yeah, it's not gonna act up. All right, I'm gonna stop the video now and show you more if and when there's more to show later. And we're back home. Just thought real quick do a wrap up here, because I'm thinking I'll probably do a two-part video thing on this. You know, like I said, I can't fix it if it ain't broke, and right now that is not broken. So I'm gonna leave that cover that, you know, covers the entire engine here. I'm gonna leave that thing off. You know, just in case this thing starts acting up, I can quickly get in here and start, you know, getting it down to what cylinder's killing me. And, you know, an easy way to do that is simply unplug one coil pack at a time. Note the difference. If you unplug one and it makes no difference at all, well, that's the cylinder that's fucking you. So, yeah, just for that quick and dirty test, I want to leave that cover off. So, alright, I'm thinking I'm going to wrap this video up, post it, and yeah, like I said, if this thing acts up again, we'll just make it a two-part thing. Hopefully it breaks the next time, because I can't fucking fix it if it ain't fucking broke. So, alright, I hope this was somewhat educational for some, and yeah, until the next one, hey, cheers.